Hey guys, my name's Paddy. I'm head coach here at MARCHON Victoria, and we've just finished writing the new MARCHON Gyms training phase starting on the 22nd of September. So the intention of this video is to just give you a little bit more context as to the why behind some of the exercises that we've chosen, the progressions that we're going to be following with each of the movements, and to just give you a little bit more detail so that you have a better point of reference and a deeper understanding of what we're doing from a programming perspective. So, new training phase, the testing metrics that we're going to be doing is a front squat, an RDL and a bench press. So the front squat reps is going to be 5 RM for ladies and a 3 RM for men. The RDL is going to be an 8 RM for ladies and a 6 RM for men. And the bench press is going to be a 5 RM for ladies and a 3 RM for men. So we have done back squats for 2 phases now previously, so want to front load the squat and just develop that pattern a little bit more. We've done, I think, at least 3 if not 4 deadlift testing metric training phases, so I wanted to spice things up and do the RDL. And then the bench press, we had done bench presses on the previous training phase, but 5 and 7. So I wanted to bring the reps down and give everyone an opportunity to kind of continue on from the strength that they have developed at those sort of mid-range reps, and now bring the reps down a little bit lower. The conditioning that we're going to be doing is called MARCHON Gone Bad. So this is a spin on the a popular CrossFit workout called Fight Gone Bad, which is 1 minute stations, 5 rounds, 6 stations, which is 30 minutes of work. So we are doing a couple of variations to that. So the idea is that you are going to score as many reps or as many calories or as many points as you can within the minute, and your score will be all of your points, calories, reps accumulated over all 5 rounds, and that will be your total score. So the stations that you're going to be doing is going to be rowing calories, burpees, box jumps, kettlebell farmer carries and wall balls. So your kettlebell farmer carry, the RX weight for that is going to be 2 32 kg kettlebells for men and 2 24 kg kettlebells for women. Now obviously that is the RX. I'm not expecting everyone to do that, but that is just what is the prescribed top end weight that we would do for that. So you're going to accumulate your rowing calories. So say for example you get 20 calories within a minute on your rower. When you do your first burpee, which will be your next station, it'll be 21, 22, you get to the box jumps, you've done 30 reps cumulatively when you get to when you finish the burpees. When you start your box jump, 31, 32 for example, and then you'll add all 5 rounds together, and that will be your score. So you have a minute of rest after you finish the wall balls, so that's going to be your rest station. Gather your breath, but there is a lot of pacing that's required with this. It will catch up on you fast. So what we're going to be doing for week 1 is quite a few of these testing things we're going to be testing and then retesting. So your front squat, your RDL and your MARCHON Gone Bad will be a test retest. So make sure that you track everything within the app. You know exactly what you hit for your 5 or your 3 or whatever it is that you're testing, so that we have some clear data for you to be able to test and then retest and see what gains you've made over the 12 weeks, which I have every faith that you will make plenty of them. So on Monday, we've done a little switcheroo. So Monday is now going to be squat focused. Friday is hinge focused, where we were deadlifting or hinging on Monday and we were squatting on Friday. Now we're going back to your standard week. So squatting on a Monday, benching on a Wednesday and deadlifting on a Friday. Everything else remains the same. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday will be full body strength. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday will be conditioning. From the structure of the week, what we've changed with the conditioning is that Tuesday is now going to be your mixed conditioning, which is the MARCHON Gone Bad. Thursdays we're going to come what we call cyclical ergs, or easy ergs, where you're just doing ergs and running. There'll be no mixed movements like cores, kettlebells, burpees, anything like that. It's just going to be ergs and running on its own, but at a lower intensity, so that flow effort. And then Saturday will still remain the same, which will be your skills and your send. Thursday evenings now at 7 p.m. is only going to be barbell work as well. So there's going to be no gymnastics on a Thursday night. It's just going to be barbell club, and we want to get as many people in to learn Olympic weightlifting as possible. So if you're thinking about doing Olympic weightlifting, you have friends that think that they might want to come and learn how to do weightlifting, then Olympic weightlifting, then bring them along to the 7 p.m. on a Thursday night, because it is going to be perfect for people developing and learning the skill of Olympic weightlifting. Monday, we're going to be doing squats. So you are going to do a test and retest. You're going to start after you've done your test on week 1, week 2, you're going to do sets of 10s and sets of 8s paused. So you'll do 2 weeks of pauses, and then we're going to take the pause away and slowly bring the reps down until we get back to a 5 and 3, and then we'll test again on week 12 on testing week. So that's your squats, fronties. Your density piece on Monday is going to be delt, lat, and hamstring or glute. So you're going to be doing alternating seated dumbbell shoulder press for the first 6 weeks, and then you're going to do a standing barbell overhead press for the second 6 weeks for your accessories. Your lat accessory is going to be a T-bar row, which is going to be with a landmine for the first 6 weeks, and then a pen lay row with a barbell for the second 6 weeks. And then for your hamstring glute accessory, it's going to be a dual dumbbell RDL for the first 6, and then a split stance dumbbell RDL for the second 6. So that's going to be your density block. Gain and train options as always on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So the gain option is going to be core and ergs, and the train option is going to be ergs and hinge conditioning. So your gain for week 1, for example, is going to be ergs with cable crunches. Your train is going to be ergs with alternating dumbbell snatch. So dumbbell snatch, kettlebells, burpees, all sort of hinge focused movements are what will be included on that train finisher. Tuesday, the fight gone bad or the march on gone bad. We obviously have your test on week 1. How we're going to progress that over the 12 weeks is we're going to start with some longer AMRAPs, 8 to 10 minutes of AMRAPs, 2 to 3 elements working at a slightly lower intensity, and we're going to slowly reduce the amount of time that you're working within AMRAPs and build you up to working every 2 minutes, working every 90 seconds, working every minute on each of those stations. So it'll be AMRAPs initially, and then after that time we're going to move down to 2, 90, and then 1 over the 12 weeks. Wednesday's bench focused, so we're going to be doing 4 weeks of feet up barbell bench press. So a couple of reasons why I've programmed this. The first is to take away the use of any leg drive. Something that we've been emphasizing a lot from a coaching perspective is feet being on the floor and driving your feet into the floor as you're pressing the bar off the chest, which is really beneficial for getting the most out of your bench press. But what it does do is put you into a lot of extension with your torso, and you get strong in one position. Now what we want to do is make sure that you are strong and structurally balanced in all positions. So what you're going to do is by bringing your feet up onto the bench, naturally it puts you in what we call a more neutral position with where your ribs and where your spine and where your pelvis sits. So it's going to change, you're probably going to lift a little bit less weight than what you would with your feet flat on the floor, but it's going to be feet up bench press for the first 4 weeks, and then we're going to go back to the regular bench press, focusing on a little bit more arch, focusing on pulling the feet back towards the hips, focusing on getting a nice bit of extension, which is going to be a more powerful position for us to bench from. So first 4 weeks feet up bench, high reps of 10s and 8s, 8s and 6s, and then the regular bench will go 10 and 8, 8 and 6, 6 and 4, 5 and 3, test. Next thing that you're going to be doing on that Wednesday session is going to be some upper body density. So that's going to be pull-ups and dips. So we're going to be doing strict pull-ups, body weight, 8 to 15, V-bar dips, 8 to 15. If you haven't got pull-ups, you're going to be doing lat pull-downs, 8 to 12. The minimum requirement for this right now in week 1 to 3 is going to be 8 strict pull-ups. If you haven't got 8 strict pull-ups, you're going to be doing lat pull-down. Same thing with a V-bar dip. If you haven't got 8 strict V-bar dips, you're going to be doing 8 to 12 decline neutral grip bench press, which is exactly the same movement. It's just that you're lying on your back versus you being up in the air. So if you haven't got 8 dips, you're going to be doing decline dumbbell bench. If you haven't got 8 pull-ups, you're going to be doing lat pull-downs. And then over the weeks, those reps of the pull-ups and the dips are going to come down. So if you've got 5 to 6 dips and we're in the 5 to 6 rep range, you can do dips. And then likewise, those that are competent, we can then start adding load. So that's going to be your upper body density. And then part C on a Wednesday for this training phase is going to be lower body focused, gain and train combined. So it's going to be quite squat and lunge heavy. So for example, the first 2 weeks is going to be a 12-minute EMOM. Partner 1 is going to do, it's going to be a 12-minute EMOM. So in threes, partner 1 is going to do 10 sandbag squats, straight into 20 meters of a sandbag carry, so there and back, drop the sandbag, rest for the remainder of the minute. Partner 2 will be doing a row, bike or ski, calories 10 to 20 calories in the 12-minute EMOM, within the minute, and then the third station is rest. So in your threes, you're just going to work through sandbag, squat and carry, bike, row, ski, rest. 12 minutes, so 4 rounds. So quite squat heavy. It'll be a good, nice piece of lower body conditioning that you're going to be doing on the Wednesdays. Thursdays, monostructural ergs. What we're going to be doing is adjusting or playing around with RPE, lower RPE. So RPE stands for rate of perceived exertion. So that can be a scale of 5 to or 7 to 20, but we're going to be doing 1 to 10. So RPE 10 would be a complete all-out effort. RPE 5 would basically be like a warm-up. So we're going to be doing, for week 1, it's going to be alternating between bike, ski or row and run. So 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, RPE 6, RPE 7, RPE 8, 2 minutes of rest, and then 2 minutes of RPE 6, RPE 7, RPE 8 on the run, 2 minutes of rest. So it's going to be 6 minutes of work, 2 minutes of rest, 6 minutes of work, 2 minutes rest. The other thing that we're going to be playing around with on this training phase is going to be stroke rates. So the top right hand number on your rowing machine and on the ski erg, you can see stroke rates. It's a really useful tool for you to develop your the efficiency of your stroke and the efficiency of the amount of force that you produce with each stroke. So we're going to be not only playing around with RPEs and keeping you in that sort of lower aerobic effort, but we're also going to be playing around with lower stroke rates and forcing you to have to develop your power by being more efficient with lower strokes. Less strokes within the minute means that every stroke has to be more efficient, and you're trying to accumulate more calories or more meters for every stroke that you do. That is your Thursday. Barbell club is going to be clean positional work, jerk positional work, and then some accessories. So your clean positional work is going to be things like 3 position cleans, high hang power clean, hang power clean, power clean. I won't go into that too much because it's not an overly popular class, but hopefully it will become overly popular. Jerk positional work, we're going to be doing some pause push press and some push press, and then eventually moving to split jerks and push jerks. And then your accessories is going to be some segmented clean pulls, so you're going to be pausing from the floor up to that position 1 in different positions. So pausing at 1 inch off the floor, pausing at the knee, pausing at the upper thigh. And then you're going to be doing some SOTS press, clean pulls, plank, getting some nice variations in there for the barbell club. Friday is your RDL. So we're going to be doing a test, 8RM or 6RM for ladies and men. And then we're going to be moving to deficit RDLs for 4 weeks. So you're going to be on a 20 kg plate. Idea is that you're going to be doing larger ranges of motion, which is going to work your glutes and your hamstrings a little bit more with a bigger deficit. And then you're going to bring that deficit away when we get to week 6 and 7, which should allow you to go a little bit heavier, pausing in the bottom, and then the pauses will come out, and then we'll be testing on week 12 for the 8 and the 6. That's your RDL. Your part B is then going to be split squats, pecs, and then rear delt or upper back. So your split squat, we're going to be doing split squats, rear foot elevator split squats or Bulgarian split squats for the entirety of this training phase. So we'll talk about how that's going to be in terms of setup in the classes, but we're looking for the bottom of your patella or the bottom of your kneecap to be in line with the bench. So if you need to elevate your feet or elevate your back knee or lower your back knee, then you'll have the opportunity to do that. Once you've figured out what your setup is, it'll feel like a ball ache in the first week, but once you've figured out your setup, you know I need a 15 kg plate and an ab mat, for example. We'll show you what you need to do for that. So you've got rear foot elevator split squats. You're going to be doing push-ups for the first 6 weeks. So that's going to be your pec accessory, weighted ideally, or from a surplus, so dumbbells from a deficit, sorry. And then if you can't, you're going to be pushing up off the floor or pushing up in the rig. And then the second 6 weeks is going to be pec fly, so a dual cable pec fly using the cable stacks. And then your upper back accessory and your rear delt accessory is going to be a rear delt fly for the first 6 weeks on that density block. And then you're going to do an upper back dumbbell row for the second 6 weeks. Your gain and train options. So on a Friday, your gain is going to continue with arms, and then on a Saturday, it's going to be core, carry, and erg. So on the gain, we're going to be doing biceps and triceps. So we're going to do a kettlebell towel gun walk, which is going to be an interesting new ISO hold that we're going to hold. So 40 meters, there and back, there and back. And then you're going to do 8 to 12 overhead tricep extensions, 3 rounds for quality. Your train option is going to be carry and core, or carry, core, and erg, and it's going to be an 8-minute AMRAP. You're going to do max meters on the ski, the bike, or the row as a pair, and while you're changing over, your partner is going to hold dual kettlebell front rack position. So it might be 30-second intervals, it might be 40-second intervals, but we're going to be doing things like carries, holds, V-ups, etc. in that finisher on a Friday. On a Saturday, Skills, we are going to be continuing on with our positional work, so very similar to what you were doing on a Thursday, where it's going to be 3 position power clean, so the high hang power clean, and power clean, developing those positions for those 15 minutes. If you were doing the perform option, we're going to be doing some power clean battery work and some touch and go reps. So it's going to be a 10-minute EMOM. You're going to do 5 touch and go power cleans every minute for 10 minutes. So you're going to do 50 reps of a power clean. So you're going to accumulate a lot of work. We're going to be doing things like touch and go reps, higher rep cluster sets, just in general accumulating more reps within a short space of time for those touch and go power clean reps there. That's going to be your perform option. Then for your gymnastics, your train option is going to remain the same. I would advise, or I would like everyone to be doing toes to bar for this. Reason being is that we've got winter turf coming up next year in February, and what I would like is for us to be smashing through those toes to bar high reps. So 10 minutes to accumulate 5 to 15 reps on the toes to bar if you're newer to that skill. And then if you're competent with that skill, the perform option is going to be a 5-minute toe to bar test. So you're going to try and accumulate as many reps as you can within 5 minutes. It's obviously not unbroken. You can break up it in 2s, 5s, 10s, whatever you want to do. But we're going to test and retest, and then we're going to develop our toe to bar capacity in isolation. So that's going to be EMOMs. That's going to be putting together large sets of toes to bar without much fatigue, just so we're trying to develop our toe to bar capacity in isolation. Then the other thing that we've added in on the Saturday skills is we're now going to be doing some gymnastics accessories, which is going to be specific to the toes to bar. So you're going to do your prone straight arm pull downs, which is going to be in a hollow position, and you're going to bring the arm down into that position, which is going to work on that straight arm pulling lat strength that you need to be able to compress your core and bring your knees and your legs up into that top position for that straight arm pull down. And then you've got strict hanging knee raises, which is going to be a nice supplement, again working on that core compression, bringing your knees up. We can add weight with like a med ball, but we're going to be doing variations of straight arm lat strength work and core work to assist with the toes to bar. And then as always, your Saturday send is going to continue in the same fashion. Variety, higher intensity threshold work, 30-40 minutes in teams of 2s, 3s, 5s, etc. Preparing you for things like high rocks, turf games, ATHEX, metrics, etc. So that is our training phase in its entirety. I hope you are as excited as I am to deliver this. I can't wait for you guys to absolutely crush it. It was amazing reflecting on the last 12 weeks, seeing how much everyone bought into the program was really, really empowering and rewarding for me as a coach and as the person that writes the program. So I'm really excited and really looking forward to seeing exactly the same thing all over again. Make sure that you're using the app to its full extent, whether that's nutrition, in the locker room, in the community chat, logging, tracking your scores, making sure that you're getting stuff on the leaderboard. It's really good to have that competitive environment where we're kind of competing from one another, seeing what the other gyms have done, what the people in the other classes have done. It really does help in terms of driving results and driving community and engagement, so I would encourage you to do that. Any questions, you can fire me a DM, Patrick_James_coach on Instagram. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me, or come and chat to me in the gym, whether you are a Victoria member, Stratford, Bath. Come down to Victoria, you're more than welcome. I'll hopefully be able to come over to Bath and come over to Stratford again in the near future. For now, hope you enjoyed this video. Have a fantastic day, evening, night, whatever time of the day you're watching, and I'll see you in the gym.